Hey, Phil.
Hey, Paul, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, allergies bothering me, feeling like shit.
Oh, yeah.
Seems it's fucking year round in this goddamn state.
Remember, if you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Oh, I know that. Just seems like the retards in this country must have skipped school.
Really? I mean, even Reverend Jim Jones had that big sign on there. You know, if you learn your history, repeat it and all that other stuff. Right above his little throne, and the people didn't pay attention to it.
Him of all people.
Yeah, he got them to drink some Kool-Aid.
That amazes me. Amazes me how many people are out there posting shit about, oh, we don't need Social Security. Yeah, say that shit when you turn 65.
Yeah, what the hell?
Dumb motherfuckers.
God damn.
And I feel like asking them, like, go ask your father, go ask your mother, go ask your grandmother, ask your grandfather, ask them if they need Social Security.
Yeah, that Social Security helps me, you know.
Go ahead. And then they're like, FDR, who was a Democrat. I'm like, yeah, like FDR, who was the greatest president the United States ever fucking had. Does anybody have any idea what the actual New Deal did for this country? Does anybody know what the fucking Great Depression actually was, or what happened? Has anybody read a fucking John Steinbeck novel? Oh my God, I truly hate the fucking stupidity of my fellow American.
Yeah.
And you know what it is a lot of it is like my own family, and I realize I was raised primarily by my grandparents, and I think my parents, because, you know, they were their parents, my parents rebelled against their parents and must not have, like, listened a lot to them, or didn't want to because they were their parents. Where, on the other hand, I loved my grandparents, and they loved me, and so I did nothing but sit there and listen to them in awe, and listen to their stories, and sat and read books with them, and watched movies, you know, like The Grapes of Wrath with them. And so, you know, I know all this stuff, but the average person from my generation has no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know who Woody Guthrie was? Any idea?
Yeah.
You know, it's, yeah. And I don't understand why, because I like stories, right? So to me, anybody who doesn't like history, like, why? You don't like stories? You don't like movies? You don't like entertainment? Because to me, history is like the ultimate story.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even in this household, we keep it on the History Channel. You know, it's like our background noise, you know. And yeah. And I'll stop and I go, oh, yeah, ancient aliens, da-da-da, you know, so.
I was trying to let somebody share this James Carville interview with somebody. And I'm like, try to get past the first 10 minutes, please. And it was with my third ex-wife. And she's like, I tried, but I can't get past the first 10 minutes. She's a pretty intelligent person, but I'm like, please, just get past the first 10 minutes. She's like, but I didn't know what he was talking about. Like, he's talking about the Civil fucking War. He's making reference to the Civil fucking War. Why is it that any mention of the Civil fucking War, or a Civil War general, or a goddamn battle, or Antietam, or something, or, you know, say Gettysburg, anything like that seems to be fucking kryptonite to a woman and puts you into a fucking coma automatically. Oh my God. Why is that not interesting to the female fucking gender for some reason? It's a country that ripped this country in half. I mean, a war that ripped this country in half. I find it fascinating. Yeah.
I find history fascinating too. I mean, it's just, mind-boggling, all the different stories that you can just get out of history. I mean, the Alamo, and I visited a lot of these places while I was in the Army, like Tombstone and everything else. It was like, wow, Billy the Kid's grave. I mean,
isn't it amazing how small the Alamo actually is?
Yeah.
When I went to the Alamo, I'm like, where is it? They're like, you're in it. Like, what, this room? What are you talking about? They're like,
God.
where's the rest of it? No, you're standing in it. It's just a wall. No, you're in the middle. This is the room.
In the movies, it looks real big.
They make it look like a real fort. And there's,
Yeah.
Desmond Santa Anna's troops are on the outside, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh,
This is like a set.
oh my
But
God.
it's really no bigger than my 2-bedroom house here. And how many guys did they have inside that thing?
Jesus, I know. And then some of your icons were in there, like Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
What the hell? Jim Bowie.
Yeah, Jim Bowie. The inventor of the Bowie knife. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't Sam Houston leave there or not make it there somehow?
Somehow Sam Houston was involved, but I'm not sure.
I think he survived somehow though, right? Because didn't he go up to Texas?
Yeah, I don't think he was actually in the conflict itself.
Yeah, because I thought everybody there died. That was pretty much.
Pretty much so. Yeah. Yeah, it's a wipeout.
Well, then the whole thing about Santa Anna's wooden leg and all that crazy shit.
Oh, God.
Then the other thing about, like, Mexico. I love how they kind of glaze over that in history class. At least on the East Coast, anyway, they do. You know what amazes me is that I didn't realize until I was an adult that Texas decides the state of Texas decides what goes in the school's history books for the whole country. In particularly, there's like this board that's held in Texas, and normally it's a bunch of school moms that get together and they have a hearing and they decide. And I've seen it, the modern day version of it still live, and they sit there and discuss what should be placed in our nation's history books that go out to every school in the whole country. And that is particularly significant when you talk about the JFK assassination and you talk about the building where Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly was in, because that is the Texas School Book Depository. That school book depository is the place where all of the school books, not just for Dallas, but for the entire nation, were stored and then distributed through the entire country. And so, why does that state get to decide what every other state learns when they're relatively late to the game as far as even becoming a state? You would think like Washington, or DC, or maybe New York, that would be somewhere where the Library of Congress, that would be the place where you would decide, all right, this is what's going to be in the curriculum this year, or for the next 10 years, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they completely gloss over the fact that we didn't even want California until they discovered gold here, or in California. What's up, Zandine?
Hey, gentlemen.
What's up, Zandine? Hey, let me go into my Gmail and see if Shannon is having problems.
We were just on a rant about history and the lack or the abridged version of it that we're taught in the American school system.
Oh, it's getting crazy. Are they going to homeschool everybody in a minute?
That'll be the next suggestion from the richest man in the world.
I mean, seems like no more programs at the school. I mean, and you're paying rent Eating, don't want to pay the cheap.
Why not take everything away? You know, guy with who can't identify with anybody. He's so out of touch. I remember back when George Bush the first was running for president. He was on the campaign trail and he made one of the little stop, along the trail for publicity stop at a supermarket. And this was late '80s, right, when he was running. Yeah. This was after two terms of Reagan, and so he's behind a checkout counter with the checkout clerk, and he's holding like a can of something, and he's scanning it across the thing, and he's fascinated with the technology of the scanning the thing. He can't get over the fact that he can just beep, beep, beep. Oh my God. What is this technology we have that we can just scan an item and throw it in the bag? This is amazing. This is truly amazing. This was like 1987, 1988, something like this, that this fool was out there acting amazed that we had this technology. We've had this technology since like the 70s, right? Maybe before that, honestly, as far as I can remember, I don't remember a time when we haven't had it at major supermarkets. Maybe you do. Maybe Paul does, but I don't.
I do, but I mean, it's like nickel and dime. I remember nickel telephones and dime telephones, and then 15 cents, then 25, and then it starts skyrocketing. You remember the nickel phones, right, Phil?
I remember seeing the ones with the 3 coins at the top, where you put nickel, dime, and a quarter.
Just go on the phone booth, yeah. You just go on the phone booth and I remember one time I was trying to call Janet Jackson. I was trying to find out. I called Encino's information. It looked like for the Jacksons, number. Man, the shit was like $5 or something back then. I got all this change, and that was the first time I really tried to abuse that machine.
Yeah, that's the. You remember that there used to be a number you could call on the telephone and make it call back automatically. Yeah. There was a trick we used to at the payphones to do this and then make it ring.
But I didn't think it was cool to call your friends at the payphone too.
Yeah.
Shannon,
hey, Shannon, all right. How you doing?
We can't hear you.
Mike might be off.
Your audio's off.
They're going to start using Teams. They won't even let us. Yeah.
We have visual, but no audio. Huh.
How's this one? Is this one working?
Hey, you got it.
Alright. I have 3 different kinds of audio, so.
Okay.
Sorry.
Shannon, let me go ahead and introduce you to the team here, and then we'll get going. Okay?
Okay. Alright, sounds good.
Okay, tonight we got Shannon Sylvia from Pilgrim. Oh, okay, we'll do it again.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get rid of the echo.
Okay.
Is there an echo when I speak?
No. No.
Paul, say something.
Okay, is there an echo when I talk?
I'm not
hearing it now.
Okay. Huh. Okay, let's try it. Okay. Tonight we got Shannon Sylvia, and she's from Pilgrim Studios. She's involved with La Holy Investigations. I think I said it right. She purchased a 125-year-old schoolhouse, and she found out it was haunted. And we'll talk about that. I believe she's the inventor of the ghost hunting grid laser. And if I'm wrong about that, she can correct me. She's been involved with Ghost Hunters International, Paranormal State, A lot of reality shows from sci-fi, A&E, Discovery, travel. Should I name more? I don't know. She invented the I-Way. She'll explain that to you. She has a book out. She likes preserving artifacts. She has a metal detector she goes crazy with. And Shannon also, I gotta tell you, when I lived in Fresno as a little boy, I lived on Effie Street, and that house was haunted. All the entities were centered on me. They even pushed me into a heater. But my story is very small compared to Shannon's, because Shannon, for 21 years, dealt with poltergeist activity. And it was because of the King Philip's War. And Shannon, I'll start that off right now. Can you tell us what happened? 21 years and being tormented by a poltergeist?
Yeah, it was probably more like 18 years.